Hey Motorheads, wanted to show you today this 1962 wheel horse that's had a lot of different fabrication done to it, as well as teach you some things that I have learned on this journey of putting this Craftsman Poland Husqvarna 54-inch deck under it so that I get a lot better cut and a wider cut than what the original wheel horse would have had. I'm going to show you the tractor here first. It has a Kenda Bear Claw tires on it, a seat that's way too big. It does have the 8-speed transmission in it. It has an electric clutch. It's been fabricated to fit on the Honda Clone DUROMAX 440cc 18 HPE engine, which I would also like to talk to you about jetting that engine. You cannot find any info on the internet on jetting that, and I finally got that figured out. We'll also talk about tip speed on the end of the blade, which everybody wants to talk about today with these zero turns. Why do you want more tip speed per ground speed? So we'll talk about that a little bit. This is the DUROMAX 440 18 HPE. It's had the airbox removed and an adapter on the carburetor to run an aftermarket air filter. You can see I made a makeshift crankcase vent. I also cut the gas tank in half and welded a plate on top so that I would have dual capacity tanks, linked them both together. The red hose that you see on top is a vent for the lower tank so that it can accept fuel as you fill the top tank. I had to make an adapter plate to get the engine onto the wheel horse frame. Worked really good. It is an air-cooled single cylinder, electric start, very reasonably priced. Bought it off of Amazon. On this engine, as I stated earlier, there's very little info on jetting. When removing the airbox and adding an open header, it's a super trap muffler, not something you see every day on a tractor. But when adding that header and deleting the airbox, this engine is designed originally for a generator. Those generators run close to houses, so they run very lean for that reason. So that does not work out well, especially on a tractor that's pulling harder, and when you delete that airbox and add that exhaust, it's going to get even leaner. I recommend that if you've only done these modifications, that you drill the pilot jet to 20 thousandths and the main to 43 thousandths, 0.043. The pilot can be accessed by removing the idle screw, and directly below it there is a little black, some of them have just a plug in here. This one has a rectangle first. Remove the rectangle and the jet will pull up out of there. It has two small O-ring seals on it, and you will drill from the bottom of the jet. There's a small brass orifice at the bottom. Drill that jet to 20 thousandths, and that will clean up that low end off idle, especially when you back out of the throttle and you get a pop. That will clean that pop up. To do the main, obviously you take the bowl off. You can drain it first. Remove the bowl in the very center. Use a straight screwdriver. Make sure you don't chip the edges of the jet when you take it out. Remove the jet. Carefully drill the jet to 43 thousandths, 0.043. Replace it. And if those are the only two modifications you've made, that thing will run so much better, so much cooler. It will drop your cylinder temperatures down. It will get rid of all the lean pop and everything. So on a DUROMAX 440, 18 horse, that's what you're going to want to do to get that jetting right. I want to talk to you about blade tip speed, because with all the rage of the zero turns, being able to run across the yard and fly as fast as you want to go to mow, it's not done because the mower itself is faster, but because their gearing and the blade designs are able to go with that speed and mow. So whenever I built the wheel horse, I started out on the deck with a 4-inch pulley. That's the driven pulley. I ended up having to go to a 5-inch, a whole inch larger. The reason being, OSHA sets the blade tip speed at 19,000 feet per minute. Whenever I used that tack that's in the video and checked the blade tip speed, it was at 22,000 feet per minute. Sure, I could mow in high gear wide open, which I still can even at 19,000, but it pulled the motor down quite a bit more with that different sized pulley. I'll put an attachment here in the video with the formula on it where you can check your own tip speed. And if you get you one of those tachometers and you got the formula, you'll be able to figure it out. Very handy device. I recommend getting one of those tacks anytime you want to know accurate RPM. They claim the accuracy is right there. It is. I have another tack that runs off the spark plug wire, and I did compare the two, and it was spot on. So thanks again for viewing today. Hopefully some of these things that we went over today will help you out at home if you are dealing with some of these things on your garden tractor. And we will see you on the next video.